Fam, it's Zeke4 back with a brand new video. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I can assure you that I've tried multiple times from start to finish to fulfill the story, so to speak. So, with that being said, why am I here? Well, it's crystal clear. I want to do something that I haven't done in a mighty long time, and that is a roster walkthrough and breakdown because it has been a while. We are now currently sitting at 15,543,573 overall superstar talent. It has been a mighty long time. I remember there was once a time where hitting 1 million in talent meant something. Hitting 5 million was something to shake a stick at. But let's be realistic. With over 700 superstars in the game now, promoters included, there are people that are blowing the roof off when it pertains to overall power level. Yes, it's over 9,000. But right out of the gate, I'm going to knock this out of the way because this would be very tedious if I literally just kept combing through and sorting through people. So I'm literally going to do what anybody with common sense would do and utilize this handy dandy search bar to showcase and tip my hat off the certain husbandos and waifus who have held down my account throughout the years. And the first person that comes to mind, as shocking as it may seem, it's going to be none other than Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior. This guy was the go-to back in the 3-star meta days for yours truly. I did not care about tier lists. I did not care about entourage. Why? Because entourages were not a thing yet. But Sheamus right here, he held me down. He got me through a lot of hard times, baby. And so out of respect, you're going to see some people on this roster walkthrough that are going to have you kind of scratching your head like, why is he or she sitting at where they're at? I went ahead and took him to 6-star bronze just because out of respect. He was someone that literally got me through the trenches. He was able to survive a lot of RNG cascades because back in the day, you had no trainers. You had no coaches. So it was literally gem match. And usually how it would go is you go for a gem match, your opponent, the AI, goes for a gem match that led into a cascade, and either you survived or you ended up resting in peace. But he bro kicked a lot of people back in the day for your boy, so I had to tip my hat. Another person that was a big time back in the day for me is this guy right here. Everyone had a chance to pick him up. The original player's choice. The original the Summer Champions. We had an opportunity. We would have these tours that came up. Depending on which wrestler you fought against the most was the character that got handed out to people. Again, this was before. This was pre-entourage abilities. Had we known what we know now, we would have gone with a different route with another husbando that I'm about to showcase. But Andre won that gauntlet. It was between him, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Austin 316, who took so many years to get a rework that was long overdue, but highly justified. Tough Seth, the undisputed future Seth Rollins, and another husbando that I'm about to showcase. But everyone knows how it goes. He got to rework himself alongside a couple others, but Andre was the go-to showbo. He had the original submission. He was the guy with the choose move. He took a long time to get loaded up, but once he did, he put in work. He even was one of the first characters in the game with a gear. Now, yes, it wasn't that fancy, but it was cool to see Andre with something different, and he did change things. He did turn over tables. Following that, we're going to showcase another big heavy hitter from back in the day who deserves his due, and realistically, with him going into the Hall of Fame this year, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, during the 3-star meta was absolutely apex with this move set alone. And again, this was during a time where entourage abilities were far in between. But when they finally came into play, he served his role. He got me through a lot of faction feuds back in the day, from the 5v5s to the 4v4s to the 2v2s, whatever number. AJ Styles was the guy when it came to content clearing. A bunch of gears. Maybe they get some updates and some upgrades. Who knows? WrestleMania is right around the corner. It is never too late. And this is a guy that literally held me down for the longest time. Now, I want to also give y'all a history lesson. It's time for story time with Zeke 410, baby. This guy, allow me to spell him correctly. There was once a time, this guy right here, who here, and I already hear you in the comments. Well, look what we got here. A couple of haters. A couple of haters. What you see before you is Xavier Woods, power of positivity. But do you know who I see? This is telling my age. This is telling all of you within my beautiful champions community where you were during the time. Because what you see is New Day Xavier Woods, power of positivity. But who I see is, he's here. We're here. Run. Bray Wyatt, Eater of Worlds, Striker, ran the double red with the purple multiply. He clapped up everybody in feuds right alongside Showboat Andre, Acrobat AJ Styles. It did not matter. Bray Wyatt was the random gem monster and beast that was clearing out everybody during the 3-star meta. And stop me when I'm telling lies. If you were around during that time, if you came across Striker Bray, if you came across Showboat Andre, if you came across Alberto Del Rio, if you came across Stardust, you were in for a long time. That's just all I got to say about that. And it's unfortunate because Bray had left the company. They decided to reskin him to keep him into the game, to keep him relevant, right? Because he did have, when trainer abilities came out, he was the +4 Black MP trainer. And with Bray being gone, us not knowing if he was coming back or not, they decided to do a skin swap. But in my heart of hearts, this will forever be Bray Wyatt. I wish that they would change him back out of memoriam, but it is what it is. Bray Wyatt, Striker, will always get the hat tip. Next up, I mentioned them, so I'm going to show them. One of them is still who they are, but one of these things is not like the other. I took this man up the 5-star goal because they had a tour and you needed Stardust, and I survived it. Was it painful? Yes, but Stardust held me down. I remember the days where I would go on to streams, a little C24 Mark Wrangley, when I would hop on a stream with Gearson Gaming and I would pick their brains and be like, who should I work on? Who shouldn't I work on? And Stardust was one of those people. I remember the video I did showcasing Z.E.K.E. using the choose move, loading up the board, and making crazy designs with the green gem damage, right? He's not who he was, okay? There's other techs that are far superior. But for a nostalgia hit, there was a time where Stardust was that guy. And there was another. Yeah, wait, there's more, because we have another guy that did get a reskin. Now, what you see here is Razor, Authors of Pain, AOP. But who do I see? Alberto Del Rio, another great tech back in the day, held it down. Choose move madness was an absolute problem. Got reskinned as part of AOP. This was one of the first times in WWE Champions, y'all, history lesson, where they brought in somebody new, and you either had two choices. If you already had him, you woke up one day and you were like, where's ADR? Lawyer fees and everything. It's highly understandable why WWE decided to put a little bit of big distance between themselves and ADR due to Paige, who's no longer with the company, but wish her well all the same. But there was a time where Alberto Del Rio was the best tech in the game, right alongside Stardust. And to think that I was sitting on them for so long and had not worked them up until I was put on game from back in the day, rolling with Corrupted Network. If you know, you know, baby. Yeah. Razor ADR held it down for your boy with the crown. Crown era, baby. Fade to black. And like a phoenix, we rise from the ashes with the new era click. Shout out to all my faction fams. And if I forgot you, please forgive me. A-Lock Kingdom is still within my heart. Following that, here's another piece of icing on the cake for y'all, because I will get to the main one. Y'all see the 6-star goals, but you got to give people their due. So with further ado, there is someone that is here and he got reskinned. I typed his name in because there was a time where he left the company as well. And they reskinned him and made him into someone else. So here is a inception of an inception if you've seen the movie, all right? I typed in Akam. Who I meant to really type in was It's a New Day. Yes, it is. Showboat Kofi Kingston. Why? Here's why. Because before Kofi Kingston plus Yellow MP Trainer, right? Before he was Kofi Kingston, similar to Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods was formerly known as the wrestler, the artist, known as Bray Wyatt. Kofi Kingston was originally Authors of Pain Akam. But who was Akam before he got changed? Yeah, this is where it gets a little wild. This is showing my age. I mentioned him a little bit earlier. Better yet, I gave him reference. Look what we got here. A couple of haters. A couple of haters on the original God of Blitzing. The guy before KO Relentless who was so OP, they had to change the requirements to do blitzes, because before he was changed into Akam, who was then changed into Kofi Kingston, he was originally a certified G and a bona fide stud, Enzo Amore, and you can't teach that. That is correct, y'all. We had Enzo Amore get into some legal issues like Alberto Del Rio. He got skin swapped into Akam alongside Razor. So Akam and Razor were originally Enzo Amore and Alberto Del Rio. Lawyer fees came calling. They got him out of there. They brought in the AOP. So if you had them on your roster, it happened like a thief in the middle of the night. You woke up and they were Thanos snapped out of existence, and they were like, here you go. Here's AOP. Or you had to pull on the banner to get them. But then AOP left. And then they reskinned them. And here we go again. Akam got changed into Kofi. Razor remained Razor. So, there you go. This was the original Blitz God. This is the guy who changed the game mode before Powerhouse Kevin Owens changed stipulations, right? There's always someone who cracked the meta. It's real simple and easy. And the build is the same. You would put Enzo Amore in there. You would have fodder team. You would put Enzo into a blitz and he would heal himself, giving you a flawless victory. So no matter what you did, you always 3-starred the blitz. The good old folks at Scopely said, we can't have that. That don't work for me, brother. So this is what we're going to do. Oh, you're still going to be able to blitz. You're just not going to be able to use Enzo Amore anymore, because we're going to start changing out and rotating the requirements. So if you didn't know, now you know. Yeah, that's just something I wanted to give an ode to the times that we were in this game. Now, following this, There is someone else that is coming to mind. So allow me to introduce them. This is someone that definitely deserves their due, because if you were like me, you needed a solid go-to waifu back in the day, and sometimes it was a hit and a miss of who you got. But there was one that everyone got that held it down. Bailey. There were so many metas, and as you can see, she made it up to 5-star gold. There were so many metas where this Bailey held me down. When you got her gear made a difference because it allowed you to load her up. You were able to load up her move set, and you were able to get her to cycle. And yes, there are new plates out there that can make her quite viable. Yes, there are new trainers and coaches out there that might make her hit a little bit decent, but she isn't AJ Lee. She isn't Trickster Liv. But Bailey got busy, and there's no way around it. As much as people like the Tech Becky Lynch back in the day, the man with the Kill Bill themed gear, Bailey got me through a lot of content. So I'm not even going to argue that. And in the same vein, I had to tip my hat to her. There's two that I'm going to also put in here, so you know the ride that we've been on. The Cheese King himself, the original Cheese King. This is how crazy this is. Back when he came out, I was also playing Marvel Contest of Champions. So this is the first time I ever heard of the gaming terminology of cheesing something. Basically, you clear difficult content with something that's basically it might be dreadful, it might be prolonged, but you're going to still get the victory. It's not going to be your one turn, 2-click killer. But if my opponent never gets a turn, I'm inevitable. And that's where Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Texas Revenant, came in. Whenever you went up against Stone Cold, it's no different than now with Lee's plight against Carmelo Hayes in Showdown. If you don't get the first turn, if you did not understand the importance of MP reduction, you lost. You're better off just quitting the game and going back in and starting over, because once Austin got going, you weren't getting your turn back. You were just sitting there watching the screen, and then your faction mates are like, "Come on, what's going on, Zeke? What's going on? Why are you taking forever?" Bro, you want to take care of his zombie Austin? Be my guest, buddy, because if you got something, by all means, go nuts. Or guess what? We're both sitting here for 45 freaking minutes while we're both getting pimped out by an undead Austin. He was a freaking problem. And his counterpart, because they had a nag back in the day where they just wanted to keep on making money. They didn't want to just say, "Hey, we ran out of ideas for unique move sets and abilities for husbandos and waifus, so let's start copying and pasting our OP husbandos but make them into waifu form." And that's what they said. Well, we had Steve Austin. Why don't we come out with Zombie Paige? And she's going to do the same doggone thing. So when women's content became a thing, you started looking out for Zombie Paige, and then you're sitting there like, this was before stun immunity straps. This was a reason why they came out with stun immunity straps. Similar to when you had bleed characters come out like Rob Van Dam Striker. Yeah, there was a reason behind those type of straps. Yeah, now everybody's looking at move damage straps and gem damage straps. And of course, your affiliation straps are so important nowadays. But realistically, they served a purpose during a time, during a different meta, because it's different strokes through the world. And yeah, Paige got busy. And with a lot of the plates and straps that we've gotten now, Zombie Paige and Zombie Austin can cook. Here's looking at you, Sir Zoro-sama, picking up the mantle where Gear-san Gaming left off. Because there was a time when Gear-san Gaming was the original Sir Zoro. Did you know that? Gear-san crawled so all of us could walk let alone run. And I'm telling you, because I remember going to check out Gearson Gaming's videos, and everyone always be mad. Whoa, why are you running them like that? Oh yeah, like I'm totally gonna have that super expensive character. Now the same super expensive characters that Gearson used to pull for and showcase for everybody are basically being handed out like candy. Tastes like candy. But if you know, you know. But the long story short is, Sir Zoro-sama is literally taken what Gear-san started and got crucified for doing, and now everyone's in the community like, Sir Zoro can do it. Sir Zoro can do that, for sure. But before Sir Zoro was popping off like that, Gear-san, the OG, the first ever and probably the only content creator, as of right now, sitting atop of Mount Olympus with over 20K subs for a niche mobile game of WWE meets Candy Crush. So, with that being said, I had to tip my hat to Gearson, and if I tip my hat to Gearson, I also have to tip my hat to Lil C24 Mark Rangley, Big Papa Brian Gaming, as well as Tuvement, Vengeful One, and of course the Kingmaker himself. David D. David boy. So yeah, I'm showing my age, but those were the guys that got me into it. Shout out to Goldie, shout out to Tricky Gaming. If you remember Tricky, the waifus or Lifu, DJ Anon ZT being the king of streams nowadays, making things so diverse and fun with a little bit of the bubbly. And of course, my journeyman, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Merrick's. And I always got to shout them out, Lee and Rusty, injecting the community with some power of positivity. I always got nothing but love for Champions Chat because that's where it's at. And there's so many other people out there. Great J-Man. Shout out to my boy Fiesta Bomb if he ever comes back. I get it. But we're just going through and just giving ode to a lot of people that held down my roster before I showcase everybody. Another guy that held me down, Goldie, is a huge fan of one of a kind, Mr. Pay-Per-View. But I'm a big fan of the whole damn show. Because you want to know why? It's cool. Cool. What do you mean it's cool? Dude, everything's cool with Rob Van Dam. This dude was a reason for the bleed immunity. You could stack the bleed with a bad attitude plate and just go to work. Now, this was also during a time before we had the Rocky with Apollo Creed, before Ray Phoenix, before Mamacita China came to play. Rob Van Dam was hitting him with the hezzy, and I loved him. One charge, easy to roll out, gave you the blue and black formula that we see with New Gen $1 Million Corporation, Bam Bam Bigelow, Bam Bam, Bam Bam, making fruity pebbles out of people now with the red Piper plate, but that's neither here nor there. But this was my main go-to striker for a while, and before him, the only thing that bothers me about him is that he came out, and during the same time, this was one of the best times that I had to pick up this guy right here, and I couldn't get him. I cleared out the entire event. That was the first solo contest in a long time that I cleared out, and I did not get Hall of Fame Taker. I got Hall of Fame Taker's plate. I believe it. I got his whole setup. I was literally golden, but didn't have a Hall of Fame Taker. And Hall of Fame Taker is definitely getting an honorable mention here because this was my guy. I love Undertaker. I hunted down his gears. I'm praying that he gets a rework one day. Happy belated birthday to the dead man himself. But this was another guy that definitely deserves his due. I would run him through my tour. This is how I have him set. But I used to run him with that sub because that moment that you see right there, literally, the sub got busy. He made it easy with the auto on. I could just clear everything out without any problem. So I got to tip my hat to this guy right here. Undertaker held me down, and he still deserves his proper due with that. And then another character that's coming to mind. This guy I pulled while after a family meeting, after a family get-together. Literally was going into my cousin's house, and I pulled this dude. Finally got all of his gear thanks to a plate. I pulled him with one gear. I pulled him with this gear. I then later pulled him again in a loot, getting this gear, and then they had the Valentine's Day, a Valentine's Day event where I believe I was able to finally get the last final gear of him. And he was a move damage guy during the move damage meta. And this is what I haven't ran as now, but before it was real easy. The Sling Blade. Then I had we had the Sling Blade, which allowed us to load up the black. We were able to buff the blue gem damage, and then we hit the stump. And of course, yeah, the shield isn't together anymore, thanks to this man and wanting to embrace the vision before he freaking went off to become a revolutionary and a visionary. But Dean Ambrose, John Moxley helped him out a lot back in the day before Guka, before I was able to pick up King Guka with the all move damage, and now we got the 50%ers out there. But this Seth, he's found relevance within. And again, there was a time where tiers weren't a thing. Tiers stand for shard rarity, but this guy got busy. He was a problem. Back then, it was cooler because when you pulled for people, you were literally pulling for someone because you loved them. You weren't pulling for them because they were an S tier or a S plus tier. No, when Ruthless Aggression Goldberg pulled up, it was the fact that Goldberg was in the game. And now, because we're on somebody, and it brings me full circle again, because we mentioned many others that were +4. Had we known what we known about Andre, ladies and gents, my broskies and siskies from the past, this is a blast from the past for you right here. Sting, the icon. Had we known what we known when they did their initial beta of Summer Champions, hey, clear out these tours. Whichever wrestler gets the most defeats, that means the community, yes, you, the Champions fam, have chosen them to be given out to everyone for free. Had we known what we know, that the entourage abilities were coming out a little bit sooner rather than later, everybody would have gone with Sting. Why? Here's why. What's the point of picking Andre up if you don't got the red MP? Yeah, that was a thing. They literally had us do the whole thing. And you know what, Scopely? Bring the blogs back. Bring the blogs back, y'all. Look, it ain't working. The portal is so sophisticated, so sensational. But at the end of the day, blogs were where it was at. Try to do that like she sells seashells by the seashore, or how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Yeah, try to do that. Peter Piper picked the pack up, pick up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You try to do that. Try to doing that, okay? The point is, had we known what we known, as much as my OGs love them some Andre, we should have gone with Sting, y'all. We should have gone with Sting had we known what we known, y'all. Because I remember people getting mad in the Facebook groups. They're like, you're going to have us pick somebody, and then you're going to drop trainer abilities after the fact. And then we find out, wait, we now have MP so we can get our moves off sooner? We would have all picked the Sting. Why? Because then when you dropped Andre's ready to go and be fully loaded. He'd be able to do his choose move. He'd be able to destroy some yellows. And guess what? He'd be able to hit the sub and put people to sleep. To each his own, though, right? But Sting served his purpose. Hands down, one of the greatest characters to ever come into the game. Will he ever come back? I don't think so. Never say never. Because he did say this is just goodbye for now, right? But he's done. Sting doesn't have nothing to prove. It doesn't matter. WCW original. The WCW's Undertaker. Let's just keep it a bean. I never grew up on WCW. I would only know who these characters were when I went over to a neighbor's house. And shout out to TK. Her cousins would come down and they would play on Nintendo 64, and they would have the guide. They would have the guidebook for yeah, I'm showing my age. You know, when you would play a game and you could, if you were really fancy, if your parents really loved you, if you cut enough lawns, you know what I'm saying? You walked enough dogs, if you brought enough A's to the on that report card, right? You get a game, and if you really put in that work, you know, you probably get a guidebook with it. And that's how I found out about WCW, people, because they were playing one game and it had Sting on the cover, it had Goldberg, it had Hollywood Hulk Hogan, it had Kevin Nash. I had no idea who these people were. But by the grace of God, I found out about Sting, and Sting looked so dope. Then I saw the movie Ready to Rumble. I'm like, yo, this is freaking awesome. Booker T. I'm getting familiarized with WCW. You know, it's me. It's me. DDP. So it's like I realized when I got older, wow, they got a mirror of different people. Sting and Undertaker. Austin and Goldberg. Okay, I see what we got going on here. Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. Woo! The Rock, DDP. There were literally reflections of people. And then to even think and find out that, wow, WCW let go of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Didn't think The Undertaker would be a freaking draw. My mind is blown, to each his own. But Sting's amazing. And Sting was one of the very first characters that showed how top notch and how dangerous power gems could be. Obviously, power gems of yesteryear, yes, yes, they didn't hit for much. But you gotta think, different time. They were enough back in the day. You do as a wild cardo, load up your greens, and then do another 3 match with them power gems all down on the board. Oh yeah, Sting was putting people to sleep. So I mean, again, you're seeing the precipice, the prologue of certain characters and how they were built and how they were made before it even happened. Um, Another character, because it's easy to go through these people. This is just an ode to people. This is a guy I hope and pray he comes back. I am very tempted to one day take him up to 6-star gold because I did a whole series on pursuing this guy. I did a whole thing of getting him up from 1 star to 2-star, getting a 3-star, chasing Showboat Matt Hardy, plus the original +2 multiply gem strength increase trainer. I remember going to war with this guy over and over again. And looking at all the stuff we have now, I am tempted. The only downside is once again, it's a new era, it's a new meta. He isn't going to be hitting like no CM Punk, PG Punk. You know what I mean? He isn't hitting like Hall of Fame Randy Savage or purple Piper Fatu. But Jeff Hardy had his time, and he's another example because guess what? He crawled so Showboat legend Wendy Richter could run. Well, she's technically still crawling, but another example of copy and pasting top tier husbandos when Scopely couldn't come up with something original. But following that, bringing up someone else that came up and literally had a lot of people pissed off at me because of how far I was willing to go to get him, literally jumping and leaving a faction to get him, because there was a time where X-Pac was the best acrobat in the game. He was the best acrobat in the game. You would literally line him up, set everything up, and blow up the board. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff out now that could make him relevant, but he isn't, again, he had his time. There's some people they made it where they can power creep back into the meta, and other ones it's like, no, you served your purpose. Because X-Pac's female variant was Ember Moon. So I'm throwing that out there for y'all. I'm putting y'all on a history lesson on some of this stuff, okay? But X-Pac was one of those dudes. Back in the day, he held down a lot of accounts. So I have to give him that. But following that, because we're on this trip of acrobats, I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for one character that I came up with a term a while back because I couldn't pull people. You kept getting these shards, right? They introduced sharding characters. And it was so horrible to so many people's wallets. I feel so bad for Gear Sign when I still get nightmares of Gear Sign doing pulls for Hall of Fame Acrobat Lita. Yeah, back when you had pulls, it didn't feature no other superstar. It was just the character, the Hall of Fame character, and yeah, the card was in there. But when you pulled shards, you weren't getting 50 drops. You were literally getting 5, 10. You were lucky if you got 20. Yeah, It was a rough time. But I came up with the concept of like, well, if I can't pull the card itself, maybe I can shard recruit the person over time. Fuse hunt somebody. I don't got star frags. We didn't have star frags. Maybe I can pull the character at a low star rarity. My tokens were low. Econ was hard to come by. RESPECT your TPCT. And now, of course, we got so much more I can't even make it into a proper acronym. But the point is, DX Army Sean was one of those characters that I proved to the community, or at least to you, my beloved Champions fam, that, hey, you might not get them on their first weekend, but with some patience, some disposable income, and some patience, you might, or an in-store deal, because you just get tired of it. You get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You can pick up the character that you want. And that's exactly what happened with DX Army Sean. I got so close to him, they finally dropped the offer in the store. I took it, and I finally recruited him. But when I did recruit him, he's a character that, unlike X-Pac, every meta Sean gets something different. This Sean stays relevant, and he becomes a problem. He is one of the best quality of life roster changer superstars ever. Why? 1 MP, baby. You could put him in a 13 turn sub. You got 100% health strap on him with 100% gem damage. Sean's going to be turn 1. He's going to be 1 MP charged up, fully loaded, and he'll knock him out. So that's one of the most dangerous characters. He was the original Ray Phoenix, alongside somebody else, another character. But DX Sean will always have an important piece of a piece and role on my roster, because my cousin. Yeah, and don't make fun of him. His nickname is Tuffy, but his real name is Valerius. Valerius. I'll never get over my cousin Valerius talking about Shawn Michaels all the time in high school. Never knew him. He gave me his DVD collection. It was like it was the white DVD box set. And I found out about him being Shawn Michael Hickenbottom. You know what I mean? Find out his real name and playing in Texas and being a part of the Rockers and conquering his addiction. Man, that story about him, like him waking up and he asked his wife what happened to the cookies. And she told him, it's like, you ate them all. And then he was supposed to be reading a story to his child. Yo, like that, like for Sean was he wasn't the most likable person during the New Gen and the Attitude Era. He didn't want to pass the torch to the Stone Cold. And Undertaker's just in the corner wrapping up his fist like, yeah, Sean, you either going to do it the easy way or you going to have to do this the hard way. We going to bring WrestleMania 25 to the 90s, baby. I'm a fill-in for Mike Tyson. What you want to do? But Sean had talk about a 180 and thrived and flourished. But that DVD set that my cousin gave me, because I grew up loving Triple H. He grew up loving Sean. But seeing it put me on, but gave me nothing but love and respect for Shawn Michaels. So I was grateful when I got this version of Sean. Speaking of someone else real quick, because I did a video for the kicks and giggles. Farouk. Farouk was another great character back in the day because he was one of the first 1 MP charge characters. And during the time that he came out, we had a cool entourage ability that might find some usage now that some might not think about, but hear me out. There used to be a time where you had an entourage ability for trainers where X percentage of certain color gems would be on the board. You could run someone for purple to put them down. Then you would hit the leaping shoulder block and you would make those purples in the black gems. Load up your move, get the roll breaks down, and then you hit the Dominator. There was a time where they played around with stuff. They got innovative. Now it's all about gem damage and move damage, that ass. I don't know. But the point is, Farouk had his time in the sun, just like another one, his partner in crime back then, because this guy was so horrible that they had to change him immediately. This was the place where you put your Sasha Banks boss time plate on. Yes, I had a 20% move damage strap on him with the boss plate. I didn't know. I was dumb. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't have direction. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But this wasn't the move set that we ran. But he got busy too. He definitely got busy. He caused problems. He was amazing for his time. Bradshaw has always played a role in my roster. And with that being said, I'm going to go to the next Bradshaw. I pulled this Bradshaw off of a bag where everyone else was getting Oblivion Trickster Live. I got blessed with Bradshaw. And Bradshaw back in the day, thanks to Cesaro-sama, I would run him with the submission and the Juggernaut gems, or I would run him with the Juggernaut gems and the clothesline. And this is where Sir Zoro-sama came in big because we did not understand Juggernaut gems back then. We did. You had to place him the right way or it would not go well. And he handled it, and now we got X-Break rainbow gems, and now he's a problem. He's a character that's a free to play. You're gonna have better chances of pulling him over OTC Roman, over Axe from Demolition, over Haku. Bradshaw's gonna make it do what it do, and he is phenomenal. He got a glow up and a blow up, and yeah, just let that dude roll up. He held me down through 5-star meta. Then I got blessed and started watching videos and saw that, oh wait, yeah, I'm definitely taking him up to 6-star gold. There ain't no debate on that. But alongside him, though, I got blessed with another waifu. Generation of Jade, Korra. Simple and easy. Lay down the traps. Use the submission. Blow up the traps. Make the board red. Load up and do it all over again. She got busy, and she held me down too. And it just got to a point where it's like, you know what? Even if she's not in the company no more, it's sad and unfortunate that she was injury prone as she was. She was a great NXT representative. In a time where NXT was very limited with husbandos and waifus, Cora Jade held me down for a lot. Next to her too. Speaking of it, before he was Gunther, we had Walter, the Ring General. No, you know. Walter was a problem as well. Trap gems on a powerhouse that wasn't a zombie. Walter was that guy. And to think now, we got all those zombies now that generate more trap gems, that give more damage. Walter, Gunther, he had his place. He was a go-to powerhouse for so many people. And this was big boy Gunther. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this was Gunther before he shed the weight. This was UK, WWE UK. This is the Gunther that came through and battled with Adam Cole, baby, and shock the system. Yeah, I still wish that we did get the rest of Undisputed Era, but Adam Cole, baby. That's all we had, and I never got him. It is what it is. But following that, next up, and then we'll get to the good stuff. We're already 40 minutes in because, again, this is just a time capsule. Like, I give people flowers, and then I'm like, wait, I got to give someone else their flowers. Stacy Keibler, my first ever Chase champion. And back then, story time, who remembers the time? Well, there was a time and a place so long, long ago where every week, every day, there was a weekly TP contest. There was a daily coin contest. And there was so little resources. Did you get what you want? Yes, little one. I did. At what cost? everything. Everything. I went so hard to get her only at 3-star gold, but you know what? She held down my waifus, yo. She held me down. She made the tribe color build cool. She was a problem. Like, then the ground stomps so you can beef up the yellow gem damage, hit a Zawal Cardo, make the trap gems in the purple, because everything is purple. ASAP. Yeah. Stacy Keeler was a problem, and then I stuck with her. Something told me to stick with her. I kept getting hit with these 8th anniversary silence gem the plates, and then I finally found a place for him. And I haven't looked back since. Here's to you once again, Sir Zoro. If you want to know how to run somebody, just type in WWE champions or just type in the wrestler's name, Sir Zoro. You're gonna get something. You're gonna because he be kicking gold these days. We made it. And so with Stacy Keebler, she held me down. That Tori moment took her to the next level with helping out with MP. She has no gear. Doesn't need it. She's also a character that gets like in the hype, you're able to get her drops. She is a asset, never a hindrance. So if you need a good waifu, she drops all the time in all the key pools. She drops in mega pools. You're going to have tons of shards of her to fully max her out. She is literally one of the few characters in this game that I can say I maxed her out with her shards. There's a handful that you can get like that. Ted Gunther's one of them. Jacob Batu is one of them. And, well, yeah. You know what they do for your account, so don't act like you don't know. Following her, my next champion. My next chase champion, y'all. Mascara de la Muerte. I pray that I said that proper. Please forgive me if I don't mean no harm or disrespect. I just wanted to try and say it because it does sound cool. Zombie Rey Mysterio. I have been a fan of Rey Mysterio. Who's that jumping out the sky? R-E-Y Mysterio. Here we go. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Rey. I'm getting pissed that he keeps coming back and getting injured. But for everything he's done, I put it like this in a short. If Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom, is the king of the luchadors, then Rey Mysterio is hands down the king of the cruiserweights. But I will say this. Where's Billy Kidman at, yo? You can't have WCW. You can't have the cruiserweight king in here without Billy Kidman in his trucker hat. So I'm just going to put that out there. I'm just saying, if he didn't win in the ring, he won outside the ring because you know who his wife is. Winning. So, yeah, Rey Mysterio, hands down, one of my favorite wrestlers. That's how crazy and far in between, because DJ Anon ZT has a video still up that showed us how to max old school MLCs. Month-long contest. And because, of course, we went with, premium live events in WWE under the Hunter Hearst Helmsley era, of course, I changed it from month-long contests, MLCs, to MLEs, month-long events. So there you go. If you know, you know. We got the triple black on them. And we did with the zombies. We finally got the gear. So Ray is a problem, and there's no way around it, and I'm thankful that I got him on here. There are other wrestlers that I could go in and go on and on and on and on about because they all played a role. All the wrestlers that I have, I'm grateful for, because if I did not use them as a heavy hitter, I used them for an amazing trainer ability, or I've been using them for shards to upgrade my heavy hitters and add on to my assets. So every wrestler that's on my account of 650 superstars, I'm thankful for. They all serve a purpose, and all of them serve as a timestamp, a part of my life, a part of my journey. It means a lot to me. I'm even going to get vulnerable with y'all real quick because I'm going to show one more character that means something to me. He's a double-edged sword. Snoop Dogg Hall of Fame was the last character that I recruited before I was incarcerated because of piss poor life decisions. I was in a very dark space in my life. I was very angry. I was very selfish. And although I was intelligent, I chose to make an ass out of myself to fit in, to make excuses, to not deal with real life. And it cost me my life. It cost me my freedom. It cost me my dignity, but it also humbled me because by the grace of God, I was able to find God once again. I was able to find myself. I was able to fight back and I was able to reclaim my life and move forward. And now I'm a better man. I'm a better father. I'm a better brother. I'm a better friend. I am a better husband. I am a better overall individual because I needed a time to slow down. And sometimes, whether you believe in God or not, I do. I claim my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ as the head of my life, and I have nothing but love and respect to anyone who chooses to go a different route. It is not up to me to judge you. I am here to love on you. And God loved me enough to tell me, if you ain't going to slow your ass down, I'm going to make you slow down. And that's exactly what he did. And the last character I was able to recruit before I went to jail, Caroline County Detention Center, here's looking at you, was Snoop Dogg, Hall of Fame. He was the last superstar that I recruited, maxed out his event, maxed out his contest. It was a showdown weekend, I believe. I was able to get him. He was the last superstar that I fully recruited, but he wasn't the one that I wanted. The one that I wanted, and this is going to tie into it, and this is story time just to show you I'm just as human as you. It was during the Mutant event because I paid for the 4-star $100 disposable income pack for Showboat, Damian Priest, Broken Infamy, so that I could have a chance to recruit this guy. The irony of every time when Lee from Champions Chat mentions that figure of Seth Rollins, Mutant Messiah, the irony of every time he mentions Mutant Seth. I went all in that month to get Mutant Seth, and then I went, by the time obviously I was gone for a while, so by the time I came out, I had no Mutant Seth. And when I finally pulled him, it was a very surreal moment. Because when I finally pulled him, it meant that I earned him. God's timing is the best timing. God doesn't do coincidences. I got Seth after I got my life together. Shoot. I still have the loot coin that I didn't spend on the many faces of Foley. Striker Mick Foley. I still have the loot coin that I did not get to use. The pull to get get during the Mutant MLE. I just want to share that with y'all. Snoop Dogg was the last character that I got, and that also showed you the consistency with their MLEs back then. They've gotten a little bit better. There's some MLEs where they knock it out of the park, where the theme makes sense, and then there's other ones where it's like, okay, we're doing mutants, but then they drop a Hall of Fame character out of nowhere. Like, where's the theme? Where is the relationship here? And then there's other ones where it makes sense. They drop the new bloodline. You got Tamatanga. You got Tongaloa. You got Jacob Fatu. You got OTC. You got Striker Naomi. You got Striker Naya. You got Solo Sakwa. You got Yeet J. And then there's other ones where, oh yeah, we're doing a bunch of mutants. Throw Snoop Dogg in there. Makes sense. Makes sense. Throw Hall of Fame Snoop Dogg in there. They'll get him. They like Snoop Dogg, right? That clothesline was a little clean. Maybe. A little too much. But the point is, every character serves as a moment. And I'm I'm grateful to share that moment with you because guess what? I got out of jail. I went into rehab. I conquered rehab. I'm not out here saying, "Hey, I'm representing the Alcoholics Anonymous or NA or nothing." I conquered my addiction. I am not going to allow my addiction to define. I am not going to allow my addiction from the past to dictate the man that I am today, let alone the future the Lord has in store for me. Everybody else is different, but I'm not going to keep on reminding myself of what I did because I did it. I lived it. I was humbled. I am grateful and I came out blessed and better than ever. So I'm grateful for everything, but I'm also thankful that I can be vulnerable enough and transparent enough with y'all to be like, hey, I'm just like you. One day, I'm going to die just like you. I bleed just like you. I cry just like you. I work just like you. I went to school just like you. I walked just like you. I rode a bike just like you. I drove a car just like you. It don't matter, mate. We all in the same picture. We just got different views. But one view that we do share is our love for WWE champions. So let's go ahead and get into this roster reveal. An hour in, right? This is probably one of my biggest videos in a long time because quite frankly, I'm running out of time. I've come to a place, realistically, I wanted to say this in the beginning of the video. The community doesn't need Zeke 4-0 anymore. That's just the truth. The things that I've done, the things that I felt that I contributed to the community, I'm grateful for. I'm thankful for. But there are new, more consistent, present, far more relevant content creators within this space that are going to go further than I ever will. I made my peace because I understand what WWE Champions is. This isn't me doing videos on 2K or going back to the old school arcade games or revisiting SmackDown versus Raw. This is WWE Candy Crush. The ceiling was already set to a certain height already. I'm at peace. I value my time. I value my actions that I lead forward with now. I am grateful for what WWE Champions represents to me and means to me. But I've learned in the famous words of Kenny Rogers, you got to know when to hold them, you got to know when to fold them, and you got to know when to walk away. And just like Sting said, it's goodbye. It's not goodbye forever. It's just goodbye for now. Meaning, if you haven't noticed, I'm far in between with how I'm able to drop my videos. First and foremost, I'm a father first and foremost. And being present in my children's life, being the model of what a man of God is, being the model of what a man is, what a father is supposed to be, what a husband's supposed to be. That is more than anything. My children are my legacy. So I'm going to invest in my time in that, and I will never, ever feel bad about that. Following that, I've been blessed to work my way up, to live the American dream, to come up from being a fry cook. I know some people don't care about fast food, but to work my way up from the bottom and to become blessed with an opportunity to become a general manager is fulfilling in itself. Because that means that people were seeing the work that I put in, seeing me pay my dues, and they gave me a shot. I'd never be Muhammad Ali. I'll never be Michael Jordan, no matter how much street ball I played up at Picnic Park in Pawn Town. If you know, you know. I'll never be Jackie Robinson, breaking down walls and barriers. Those were my heroes growing up. Muhammad Ali, Jackie Robinson, Michael Jordan, and Bruce Lee, formless like water. I looked up to The Rock. The Rock getting beat up every single day, man, getting jumped, just so I can know what it's like to experience pain. Just to know what it's like to have a dad that be like, hey, you get your ass whooped, prepare for another ass whooping when you come home. Because I don't raise no punks. Being raised by a single mom while my dad conquered addiction, I have learned to cherish life. Life is precious. Time is fleeting. Nothing's forever. This game is not forever. There's going to come a time where there's going to be a day. I don't know the proper terminology for it, but the best way I could say it, the best way I could put it is there's going to come a time where you're going to log into this game and you're not going to be able to do any more polls. There aren't going to be no more month-long events. There's not going to be anything in the store. It's going to be a time capsule. And you're going to have to make your peace with that. I've made my peace with it. And I've seen so many great content creators come and go. Shout out to Tubob, Great J-Man, Fiesta Bomb. Shout out to so many greats that have come. Shout out to OG Buck, Brofessor. You know, this is just a moment. This is just a season. I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. But approaching it and pursuing it like I used to, it's just not there. And God is allowing me to see that there's far more things valuable in my life that deserve and require my attention outside of WWE champions. So that's why I want to do this long video, because I just want to take time to walk with y'all, walk with me, and just tell you how much I love you, how much I'm appreciative of every single one of you, from the people that are trolls to the people that are secure in their position, to the people who send me nothing but love and don't even know me personally, to the people that stayed subscribed, to the people who were looking for me when I was gone. I love you. I'm thankful for you. The beauty about this game isn't the pixels. It's the relationships, the friends, the brothers, the sisters that you come across. I've met so many amazing men and women from different factions, within different community groups, through my comments, through other people's videos, through other people's streams. I'm invested in the people, not the game anymore. This is, and this is the thing. I'm doing what I do because I still got love for it. But I'm also honest enough to know, hey, this is as high as I'm going to go. I've never been the guy that went out and I've invested in improving my life in other ways, in other facets, where others have invested into the game, the cool graphics, the side panels and everything. I've always been a bare knuckle brawler. That's always me. I've always loved to fight. Win or lose, I've loved to fight. Where's Fit Family at when we need him? So for me, it's always just being about giving you the real. I record my videos the way I do to prove to you one thing and one thing alone. If you have a dream, if you have a vision, if God gives you purpose, do it. Don't make an excuse. I don't have this software. I don't have this computer. I've been doing videos with DU recorder or another video recorder on my phone, starting way back when I used a straight talk phone from Walmart that cost me $30. When I would play the game, I did gameplay. Go to my old school gameplay. You would watch. The screen would stay still. There wasn't no motion of my characters moving around in the ring. The only time they moved was when I matched the gems. When I showcased my roster back in the day, they weren't doing their poses. They were a frame with a black backdrop and the character in the forefront. I've wined and dined with kings and queens. I slept in alleys eating pork and beans. hard times, baby. But it's human. If I can do it, you can do it. And that's all I ever wanted to show y'all. That's all I ever wanted. And for almost 9 years, I've done that. So with that, let's finally get into the roster walkthrough, okay? As you can see, I got... Whew! Thank you again. Thank you, God. So, we got 650 superstars. So, my top crew. Now, I get it. You want a murderer's row when you look at your top group. And one thing I have learned is, yes, not everyone has to get maxed out at 6-star gold. Will 7 stars ever be a thing? It's a possibility. But at the end of the day, they're looking to implement more with hype. I honestly think what they're going to do is this. I believe hype should, this is me, hype should go up to as high as 10. Hype 10. It's an even number. Stop it at 10. When you get to hype 10, access 7-star. Because it basically, you can change things around, but the characters that you have, you've invested so much into them that it would make sense to take that person. You know what I mean? It's like platinuming your weapons in Call of Duty, right? Or Battlefield. I don't do shooters, but you know, you utilize a weapon so much it gets a certain prestige, right? The same should be applied here. If anything, I mean, yeah, I mean, if they really wanted to, they could have just stopped at hype 4, like hype 5. But if anything, if I want to go big boy with it and they really want to push it home, go up to the hype 10. And those characters that are able to access hype 10, do it like how they did the Dynamic 9 back in the day, where you needed certain characters up at a certain star rarity so you could do certain contests, and then you got a chest that gave you a guaranteed or whatever. Give that implementation to them. Give them the hype 10, and that allows you access to 7-star. There's other ways. Clearly, they could just go to 7-star. But I mean, with the hype now involved, you got to figure out something. The hype has to play a role into you getting to the 7-star. That's where my mentality is at. But with that being said, you want a solid group of people that are going to be at the top of your roster. So I have some people that are maxed, but Merrick's has always stated, you don't have to max out the levels. And depending on the wrestler, depending on the husbando and waifu, you don't have to max out the moves. Because certain people are only going to go up so much that there's no point of you really maxing them out in certain ways. But if you really like somebody, then why not max them out? You know what I mean? That's just me. But I always wanted diversity, so I've always been very careful about who I take up to be my top line. So we'll start combing through some people and just show them, and that'll make it easier. I was able to go in one of my last shorts. Yeah, it was one of my last recent. Jacob Fatu. I'm a huge fan of Jacob. Whenever they come out with, I am confident. Well, there's a lot of things I'm confident about because walking with Christ, you gotta be, but still have humility. I am pretty confident that even if Jacob Fatu got an A tier, he would be an A tier that hit like a S tier or a S plus tier. They have handled Jacob very well. Jacob is a great character. I wanted this Jacob so bad. The homage to the Samoan werewolf, that is literally his epithet. So it made sense for him to come through as the Samoan werewolf in his debut. I was able to get the moment for him. I did not get the strap because I chose the moment, because the moment benefits so many more superstars. I'm praying to get a 200%er strap for him. I would love to get a 200% strap for him. That would be amazing for me. Jacob is definitely a guy that leads the helm on my text. I have always been very intrigued by how certain classes treat me, because I'm a big fan of like Trickster and Showboat. But because of that, I ended up getting blessed with the other classes, and they just hit. But any Jacob is a great Jacob, just like you're going to see with my guy CM Punk. I love CM Punk. I shard hunted CM Punk. A lot. What makes a lot of my roster feel so phenomenal is I shard recruited a lot of these people. I did not pull for CM Punk when he first came out. I don't believe. I can literally go back. And the thankful thing about having videos, you can do timestamps. Shout out to the Truth DT who does Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle because he literally said it. He makes content so that he has a channel that can be used as a timestamp, a time capsule of Dokkan. So you can literally see he started playing on Global, he switched to JP, and he has literally followed, he has done content on every event, every story mode, used every single character. His channel is nothing but homage to the game that he plays. And I did the best that I could to follow that example and showcase different time periods, different timestamps in the game to show you. But Punk was a guy, if I recall correctly, I didn't really pursue him when he first came out, but I did shard hunt him, similar to Jacob Fatu. And that's what makes certain people on my roster special when they sit at the top, because I had to earn them. Yes, money was spent, but the final bow on top of everything was getting the character after the initial release. And when they came to my account, it meant the world to me. I've always loved CM Punk. This is even through the darkest days, this fire burns always. This is my Punk, man. This is the Punk that beefed with Jeff Hardy. This is the Punk that cashed in the Money in the Bank and pissed everybody off. This was the Punk that went up and went of the first initial go on against Undertaker. This CM Punk represents my childhood. This CM Punk represents so much to me. And to have him sitting at the top, I wouldn't have another husbando up here aside from Hall of Fame Randy Savage or Jacob Fatu. I am fine with him sitting up here. I would love for him to get the pipe bomb. The pipe bomb gear would be absolutely phenomenal for him. It is what it is, but a quality of life character. 2 clicks and it's over. And aside from that, again, quality of life. He has a reversal for anyone who uses MP up move. So shows quality of life right there. Quick and efficient. Has gear. Easy setup. I am still waiting patiently for a 200% strap, but I got blessed with a 150 and I have a 130 on him right now. But for PG era, I missed out on Drew. Showboat Drew would have been another great rep, but I'll take PG being as limited as it is. Having CM Punk is my as my go-to guy after Great Khali holding it down for as long as he could. I'm thankful. Following that, we got his wife, and that's one thing that I loved about this too. The rollout of some of these people. AJ Lee, I did a pull for her, and I got her at 6-star silver, and it just hit different. Certain people, like, I didn't expect to get her. You pull on banners, initial banners, and you're a lot of people are automatically like, oh, you're going after the main person. I was at peace if I got her or if I didn't, because I think I was pursuing someone else on that drive. I think I was shard hunting for somebody, and then she pulled up. And ever since I got her, I ain't looked back. I love running her with the countdown setup with the Red Rumble, but I also like swapping the plate between her and Oblivion Live. She's absolutely amazing. She was my first hype for I believe she is my first hype for waifu in general. And to get her on her initial release weekend, Can run her with the color turn, can run her with the countdown. She's amazing. She's been nothing but a blessing to my account. Another character, one MP up. MP up. She's cooking. You're not keeping her down even with a submission involved. So AJ Lee to the moon. Seth freaking Rollins. Now, like, this is the cool thing that I do still wish, and I still say it to this day. WWE Champion should have done a story mode. You come into the game, you're a manager, you're building up a roster. There's so much that's going on here. This Seth, I picked him up, was able to get him from the initial setup with the pulls that they gave, the new layout for the showdowns, get the one pack, get the pulls. I was able to get him. Then on top of that, he was my feud hero one time. I mentioned this like back in the day. I grew up on Pokemon, y'all. Pokemon Blue version, Game Boy Pocket, Venusaur, level 100. I even had a level 100 Parasect. Who want to smoke with me? I don't care. I got busy with them and Alakazam. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, this Seth is my best Seth. He holds it down. Got blessed with him. Used him for feud. He was taking out people that my OTC Roman was getting stomped on. My Hype 4 OTC Roman was getting dusted. And guess who had his back? His ex-Shield brethren. And what did he get in reward for that? He got his gear. I was able to pick up his gear, and wow. And the new moment with Joe Hendry just makes him even more problematic. Picked up his strap. This Seth he's my guy. He's my Seth. There was the longest time they had a while back. Gear San knows about this. A lot of you might have known. They used to push Seth to the moon. There was a banner called The Many Faces of Seth. And on that banner, the goal was to get the Undisputed Future Seth, because Undisputed Future Seth was the choose move king. He was the best character in the entire game. And to this day, I still do not know why they did not go ahead and give him his all-white gear when he had won the United States title and the WWE Championship. To each his own. But Seth, the Visionary, though, best. This is my Seth. There's different variations of a lot of wrestlers. This is my best Seth. This is the Seth that I will choose to go into war with every single time. No debate. But right next to him, another character. I shard hunted this man. And now I have literally pulled this man in free-to-play key pulls and other banners. He's dropping like hot fire right now because he spits hot fire. So, you think you're untouchable. Grew up on John Cena. Thugonomics. Word life. I grew up. To be the thing. Some people, I want y'all to think about this. There was someone out there who saw the rise of Hulk Hogan, right? I sit back and talk to my friends and be like, bruh, we're literally witnessing we witnessed the entire career of Ray Lewis. I'm from Maryland, Z.E.K.E 410, if you didn't know. I saw the whole career of the Ray Lewis played out. I got to see, and sadly, got to be present for the loss of Kobe Bryant. But I also got to see Tom Brady's reign. I've witnessed Brock Lesnar's debut. I witnessed John Cena's debut. I still remember watching on the box TV with the antenna with the foil at the end. If you know, you know. The struggle. UPN 24. John Cena coming out and challenging Kurt Angle. What's your name, kid? John Cena. What makes you so different? What makes you different from everyone else in the back? Ruthless aggression. Yo, I still think about when him and Undertaker teamed up. The whole turnaround. Yeah, weren't you the same one that said that you said that I got next, kid? And Taker being like, I'm done making stars. But you try me, I'll make your ass famous. I'm telling you, peak to see him his whole entire career. And my goal was to shard recruit this man before he left. And God provided that. As soon as I recruited him, you see where he's at. I run him just like this, or I'll put the reversal in for the go up as a reversal for increase of move damage. I've learned because of Titan, I've learned how to utilize the triple perp. So yeah, this guy deserves everything. He deserves his flowers. He deserves his due. I moved the gold medals off of him for right now, but there is no shame for me having a 200%er sitting on this John Cena. I spoke it into existence, and I was able to get him recruited before he officially retired at Saturday Night Main Event. Couldn't ask for better. He's my favorite Cena. I got nothing but love for John Cena. I put in work on all of the Cenas, and I'm just thankful and grateful, and to get the moments. I'm clearly missing another one, the one where he returns from the Royal Rumble, but he's just getting better and better. Quality of life, answer to Titan, can use him in any format of content. What's there? There's nothing bad to say about the last time is now Cena. So definitely, I'm proud to have him as one of my top guys. Following that, Demons in Your Dreams. Rhea Ripley. I have loved Rhea Ripley for so long. This is why we have time capsules, y'all. I remember the time when she initially debuted. I remember this Rhea, right? Then I remember, yeah, we're doing this right now. Okay, we're definitely doing this. We had her. Then we had, I believe, This Is My Brutality. We had this one. Then I might have got them out of order, but I am strongly believing Striker Rhea followed that with this Rhea, the Halloween, the zombie Rhea. She was my go-to. Setup that you see right here. She got busy and held me down for the longest time. Then, so then she pulled up. Then after Recurring Nightmare, we got the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day MLE, in my opinion, was one of the most cracked MLEs ever, because look at all these moments she has, yo. She got all these moments, but all of them benefited. All of them were a problem. Showboat Finn, shout out to him. One of the best free-to-play they ever gave us, and he gave us his gear. Made him solid. Damian Priest, another problem. Rhea got a rework and is just immaculate. And Dominic, they did the Judgment Day. They got a soft spot for the Judgment Day. But Rhea's always been good. And then, of course, they followed up with that Rhea. Anniversary time, baby. Heavy Metal. What's there to say? What's there to say? And now you got AJ Lee in the game, so I'm running her like this. Yeah, mommy's just been a problem since she came into the game. And, she still glitches up. But, of course, we got this one right here. Hands down, one of my greatest ones. Got the 200%er strap. Cannot wait to get the green Rumble plates. Both of them, they're going right to her. There's no arguing or debate on that. Shout out to Lee for informing us that the reinforced does not trigger on her. But the gear looks great, looks amazing, and she's low MP charge. Literally, I put Goldberg on her, Hall of Fame Goldberg, Alexa Bliss. Then I have Yokozuna. Rests in paradise, my boy. And Stunning Steve. So she's just a problem to many. And look at these glitches. They have some fascinating glitches going on in the game right now where the numbers are not making no sense at all. They go to do an update and then they make stuff worse. But right next to her, wrestling has more than one royal family. This Cody Rhodes, Shard recruited. It took me a long time, but I got him. And not only do we got him, only thing we're missing now is the gear. When that gear comes into play, it's over. We got our first ever Frankie the Parrot plate, and it went right on Cody Rhodes. So Cody is just a problem. He's a go-to guy. And just like how I view a few champions, I view it like Pokemon. There's a lot of great Pokemon that I had that didn't have to be in my party all the time. A lot of people you can just bring out and you know what they're going to do. And you literally have them sitting in wait, just waiting to be like, okay, oh, you need me to take care of that Zeke 4-0? Yeah, I'll get this done in about 15 seconds. Don't worry. I'm about to end their whole career in less than 30 seconds. I got it. And then I'll drop to the back and I'll let the others do what they got to do. But if you need me, I'll be over here. You already know what I do. You already know what I represent. So yeah, this was the Cody that I wanted to represent my account. This was the Cody that I needed to be my powerhouse. And Shard recruited. Meant the world to me. And as you could, yeah, he meant the world to me getting him. Following that, he's here. Now I am going to say this, and I'm just going to throw this out here. Hear me out, because we are deep, and I mean real deep into this video. Now, we got Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton coming up. I'm praying to God I get the shards for Trickster Randy in time. But he's been having these phone calls, and a lot of people are throwing some names out there. Some people think that it might Bully Ray said it could be Charlotte Flair, because wrestling has more than one royal family. Some people think it's The Rock. I could see you saying The Rock, but there's one perplexed thing about that. Now, granted, things are changed. Rock and Randy wouldn't make sense to me, because Rock came back in early 2000 to team up with Mick Foley to take on Evolution. And Randy was a part of that. So I don't think it's The Rock. But wrestling has more than one royal family. Okay, you got the Samoan wrestling family. Okay, you got the Ortons. Okay, you got the Flairs. Woo! All right. You got the Mysterios. You got the Guerreros, right? Why isn't nobody mentioning the Rotundas? Why? Here's why. Randy's hearing voices in his head, right? Randy was tag team partners with Bray Wyatt, right? Randy burnt down the Wyatt 6 facility, right? Why? Just because you don't see it on screen. They're both on SmackDown, right? Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, got beef with people who do wrong by the people they love, right? But he can also heal and hurt like the Fiend. Bray Wyatt, Bo Dallas, IRS is their father, Blackjack Mulligan, Pryor. That is another royal family of wrestling. Maybe the person Randy's talking to on the phone headed into WrestleMania is Bo Dallas. Maybe it's Uncle Howdy whispering a message from the other side to remind Randy of who he is. And maybe, just maybe, because he's helping him tap into that, maybe, just maybe, he'll have to pay the piper later. And Bo gets that moment He gets the belt back from Randy after everything Randy did to Bray at WrestleMania. A deal with the devil. Randy says he's willing to do anything and everything to get that number 15. John Cena said so himself. I set the 17 so I could shake the hand of Mr. 18. With the rivalry that is as historical as it is between Randy Orton and John Cena, I could see that being the situation. But I can also see it as a possibility. There are other wrestling families. So that's where I'm thinking Bo Dallas. This is no debate. One of the greatest entourage abilities in the entire game. I love running him with this setup right here. But I also understand, and I have played around with the triple perk. I like Bo. Bo is one of those characters, again, you can get his hype out of the store, in the faction shop. He's got moments. He's got a great ability. He's amazing when it comes to tag links. He is a Black Friday character that is truly quality of life roster changer. And to have him, as soon as I got him up, I had to take him up. There was no question to it. Bayley. I mentioned Acrobat Bayley earlier. This Bayley still gets busy to this day for me. I went out of my way because I couldn't stop. I recruited Vader, right? I got Jacob Fatu. And then they brought Bayley out, Z.E.K.E out. And when I found out Z.E.K.E was going to be such a detriment, not even a detriment. Well, a detriment to my pocket, but an asset to my Vader Mastodon. It was on. I thought I was going to retire and take a break after forgetting Fatu, Jacob Fatu, Modern Era Acrobat, and then zombies were right afterwards. They knew what they were like. They were like, surprise, mother trucker. And yeah, I went in and I got her. But move damage, she's a problem. She's a beast. I got her gear. I was able to pick up the gear because I did pursue. I did go after Jacob, hoping that I could get him, or getting Alexa in Spring Outbreak. That was my treat to myself. But no cigar. Hence why I sharp recruited Jacob. But I did pick up the gear. So I'm not even mad. I just prefer her regular look over that. But move damage beast. Still still knocks people out. And again, they could do another tier of medals too to deal with this meta situation. Whether hype 5, 7 through 7, or whatever they decide to do, right? 7 stars or not, they can come up with another tier of medals. So that way you could have T7 medals for 7-star superstars. The point is, Bayley, Z.E.K.E, she's move damage, but she still packs a punch. And she's a problem and an asset. Dun dun dun. Oh. Dun dun dun. Oh. Dun 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 dun. Oh. Acknowledge me. I didn't even want him. That's the crazy part. But he became my first tier 4 husbando. And he has taken care of my account ever since. And I ain't looking back on it. The OTC and I are like, this man, you might as well say he's the mascot. Him and Fatu are the mascots of my roster. Because the OTC's never let me down. Even when he loses, I'm heartbroken, yo. It genuinely breaks my heart. Because guess what? I can run him in a plethora of ways. I'm constantly pulling him when I don't want to pull him. I've never ran the Power Gem build. I've never once ran the Triple Black. But I know I could, and I got the people to make it happen. But learning with the Bleed, with Apollo Creed, wow, that actually didn't rhyme. That did rhyme. This is a guy that literally I got him set up with MP reduction characters. I literally just got Armor King on him with Jerry the King Lawler, and no one's getting out. He is the be all end all. If you did not pick this man up for free 99 when they gave a chance during that Tekken crossover, I am so sorry. Because you missed out. Yes, there are other great strikers out there, depending on your play style. But OTC Roman answered the call for me. He was someone that somehow, some way, I was able to get mad hype for him early, and I never looked back. This is a guy that's a key part. I have been hunting down a striker 200% strap for him, and I can't get it. Just like I've been hunting down a 200% the tech strap and an acro strap. I want the 200% acro for Jacob Fatu for the purple Piper plate to sit on. And I'd like a striker strap for the OTC Roman. I would love to get a purple rumble plate and put that on him. Or a mini the purple rumble plate alongside the plate that I have for him for breaking purple, getting blue would be absolutely immaculate. The Bubba Specs does help when I do run the MP up with the bleed combo. So, I mean, Roman has an answer for everything. There's no way around it. The only thing I did peep that I wish that he did have in his repertoire would be the guillotine choke. That was his submission. So, I would have loved to seen him get that sub, but he don't need it. It's crystal clear. This is just OPC, stack them and smash them and pin them. This is smash them, stack them and pin them. That's the Roman we got. Purely offensive based, hurting people. But I have no qualms with him being one of my best strikers to represent me. Following that, right there, Tala Lua Tor Fa Tu. What's there to say that I haven't said about this man? Literally, he's a problem. Anybody can get him now. They've offered him on prize walls. They've offered his shards. You're pulling him left and right. If you haven't worked this man up, it's because you're choosing not to. And I get it. Maybe you got someone out there that's quicker. Maybe you got someone out there that's better. But at the end of the day, this man is all gas, no brakes with it. Yada I mean. Jacob Fatu is a problem. He has what is there for me to say about this guy? He's got great, solid, rock solid links. He's got gear. I'm hunting the moment. I'm truly pursuing the moment loot. I am hoping for a drop out of one of these feud chests to get that bloodline moment, to get that buff for him and OTC Roman. It evades me like the plague, but it is what it is. I have no regrets. His gear is accessible. He is a problem, and he is good for every format of content, no matter what. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. If you know the Outsiders intro with the Fugees, then you know what's going on. Hey, yo. Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. What are we talking about? They couldn't have a Zeke 4-0 account roster checkup without the man Chico Reza Ramon Scott Hall. In my opinion, and I know this might hurt some people's feelings, next to Roddy Piper, Hot Rod, and Mr. Perfect. Best wrestler that never have a championship. That's just my opinion. I feel those three are three of the best wrestlers, from my perspective and opinion, that never got the strap. Never had the world heavyweight title in WCW. Never had the WWF title in WWF. Razor Ramon, he was over like Rover, but just like so many others, they say the same about Stone Cold and Rock. They didn't need the strap. Same thing like Undertaker. Certain characters are just that over. They don't need the belt. It's great when they have it and they get it. Hall didn't need it, but I believe he deserved it. But like I spoke on earlier, he conquered his demons too. And that's inspiration and motivation more for me. So, to have him, as soon as I was able to get him, I took him to the moon. I love him. That's it. I love Scott Hall. That's what it is. Julius Credo. Yeah, I was able to get this guy. Haven't looked back. Y'all know what the shtick is. My only Tama plate rests and lies with this guy. That's just what it is. Got could get his gear. If y'all don't know, his gear is available now with the hangers. So I like running the blue. He hits freaking crazy when it comes to the battles for Titan and everything. I just have him sitting with the Tama. I could hit him with a skill plate to buff, break purple, get blue, similar to OTC Roman to get that loaded up with the multiply gem. But at the end of the day, usually the Tama strap is all it is. I do have it's a trap skill plate. I gotta figure out if I'm gonna go for it or hope and pray I get a universal strap that I can share amongst everybody, similar to how I'm doing with the Yeet and Drip combo. Rusty from Champions Chat put me on game for that. Should definitely have some more than just one universal sharing is carrying straps with top tier plate combinations. But Julius Credo, he never lets me down. He's definitely, even with him being at hype 2, he puts in work. Charlotte, woo! This is crazy because this is a set that I completed after the fact. Picking up Tech Charlotte Flair was one of the greatest things that ever happened to my account. I share a strap between her and Ilya Dragunov. Yes, I do, because they are absolute problems with the Green Piper plate. I went in hard on one of the last Armory loot prize walls and saved every nook and cranny of loot to pick up this gear, and I haven't looked back since. She is a problem. And now, since we have Hall of Fame Michelle McCool in the game, yeah, she look at that green damage. She's just a problem. She's just a problem. One of the best, and again, not even sitting at a hype 4 yet, but she gets busy. One of the greatest assets to any account, in my opinion, Charlotte Flair. We already spoke on Rhea Ripley. Io Sky, Io Shirai. She literally held down my account. She was my go-to waifu after Bailey. She was my go-to waifu acro before I picked up Heavy Metal Rhea. So Io deserves where she is. Rightfully so. She is where she belongs. There is no debate about that. I absolutely love utilizing her. I was playing around using her different for this situation, but usually it would be the tri purple. For me, I put the traps down, hit the submission, and then swap a build. So that's basically what it would be. Put the traps down, hit the sub because I use the acolyte, the acolyte skill plate, and then swap a area, and then it's just destruction. EO served her purpose. She's been retired, but she's still great, and she's another character that gets a bunch of moments and things that are making her better. This, hands down, was one of the greatest pickups ever. Want to know why? Because they offered her during the thing for the Summer of Champions, and they had an offer for her for at a high star rarity, and I said, "Yep, I'm not even going to argue with this one. I'm going to pick this up. I have no shame in it because, quite frankly, I want this trickster live so bad. I'm willing to open up my wallet and spend disposable income, and ever since I did, I do not look back. She has nudity. She's got these moments." She's got this one that I just picked up from the Moments Armory, because I've basically cleared out. I took a break I got blessed with enough from these events that I cleared out the title prize wall, and then I said, okay, let me go and hop over to the Moments now. I'm taking a break off the gear, so I'm going to go over to the Moments, and this was one of the first ones I got. I maxed it out immediately. This girl is a problem. I absolutely love her with the Punk's gauntlets on her. She is a beast, and literally, she can cook. She cooks. She cooks without issue. She's an absolute affluent and effective waifu. Hands down, if you got her on your account, you're not losing. She's fast, quick and easy, gets in and out. And she's another character that's going to be dropping mad shards. So you're going to be able to take her up over in due time. So that's her. This account wouldn't be what it is if it were not for The Rock. I love The Rock. The Rock is my favorite wrestler of all time. There's no, I can do top fives, top tens. It does not matter. The Rock is the reason I got into wrestling. Watched UPN 24, saw the commercial for the first ever episode of SmackDown. I've been watching, we coming on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I fell in love. Fell in love. This was the guy that got me confident. This was the guy that made me feel it didn't matter if a girl broke up with me. It didn't matter if my tire deflated. It didn't matter what was going on in my life. The Rock made me find confidence in myself because this dude could have the title. He could lose, but he could take accountability and be like, you know what? You got the best of The Rock. You whooped The Rock's ass. The better man won. But at the end of the day, The Rock is still the people's champ. And one day, The Rock will come back for that WWF title. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Any Rock on my squad is going gold. Even blue chip Rock is going gold at one point. I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for the character Dwayne Johnson brought to life. I love The Rock. That's my guy. Team Austin, Team Rocky all day. I don't care. That is my guy. Yes, his sharpshooter sucks. But he does the sharpshooter to pay respect to Bret the Hitman Hart, who stood up for him in the back when others were trying to sabotage his rise. So for that, this Rock is my dude. I love the triple black still to this day. There's a lot that can go down now because we have Goldberg, because we have Seth freaking Rollins with the Juggernaut gems. Also, I'm really looking at some things here because a black rumble plate on him with Stack, a mini black rumble plate with the beefed up black gem damage. He gets a second win. I get that some people don't like I get that a lot of people don't like the running certain sub builds and moves, but even then, he's a problem. He's versatile. He has an amazing ability. He's the +2 purple MP, +2 multiply gem strength increase trainer. So this Rock was a blessing. Did not expect to get him. I pulled him as a card, and when I did, I worked him up as fast as I could. So grateful for this Rock, and he got me through a lot of hard times. Gunther. What's there to say about this Gunther, yo? You get your hype for him for free. You get his shards for free. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, look, I ain't gonna keep on giving this dude his praise. Only thing I'm hoping for is I can get enough to get that gear for him to increase that multiply gem strength even further, because I'm always going to rock with Gunther. I love Walter. I love Gunther. I'm close to getting Showboat King General, but in the meantime, Imperium holds it down for me. There's nothing to debate. Tech Gunther is goated for life. Following that, though, I stand up next to a mountain. Voodoo child, baby. Lord knows I'm a voodoo child. Introduced me to Jimi Hendrix. Go freaking figure. The irony of that. Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, introduced me to Jimi Hendrix. If you know, you know. I respect the wrestler. I acknowledge and love the man. It is not for me to judge. It is what it is. That's why they say sometimes it's best for you not to meet your heroes. But we wouldn't have professional wrestling where it is if it were not for this man. So he is going to hype for, because guess what, brother? It might not have worked for him. Oh, but it's going to work for me. He's an ends to a means. He takes care of everything. I got blessed. I had enough. I was able, once again, one of them prize walls. I saved everything, stock, lock, barrel, and boom, got the gear. Once you got that Santa Hogan gear, it's off to the races. Someone's getting touched, whether they want it or not. We can do this. Now I'm going to tell you what. WWE Champions opposition. I like you, and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. And if you're an acrobat, I see you want to do this the hard way, and I got it hard. Yo, This dude is a problem for Titan. This dude is a problem no matter where you put him. He gets busy, and he's one of the dude. I finally got a Hulkamaniac plate, and I got a red rumble on him. I haven't looked back since. He puts them all down. They ain't getting up. I'm fine with it, brother. You're right. You might be, man. Look, you putting on a show. I know that if I can find in my heart to forgive you for what you've done in your past, I know God's forgiving you. So I'm praying that him and Randy Savage are putting on one heck of a match up in heaven. Oh yeah. Bonesaw's ready. But Hulk Hogan had to go. And what did I tell y'all? I was hyped when this man came out. I completed the set. What was the set? A set is when you complete the full set of characters that are released in the MLE. The only disappointment was I didn't do it within the month. But we got Andrade, Tranquilo, El Idolo. Then we got Rock for the A tier. Then we had Charlotte Flair for the S tier. And we also had Triple H Rex Regum for the S plus tier. If there was another that I'm missing, I'm not too sure. But even then, I think I still completed the set. The point is, I love this Rock. This Rock held me down. The triple yellow is where it's at. For me, personally, I would love to put a yellow rumble plate on him. He's an absolute beast. I love him. Some people don't have the patience or the tolerance for certain people. I do. And I also know I was able to pick up his finery, his final boss finery plate, so I could run him with the Juggernaut gems with the botch. And there's a lot of crazy people out right now that utilize botch gems. So final boss Rock, I love him. Some people, they were able to pick him up for free, got him out of chest without issue. I was fine with waiting because when I finally got him, it meant the world to me. CM Punk, another one I'm a huge fan of. I am missing one of his gears. I am, but I was able to get this one. And I'm all for the thugonomics. I'm all for it. Drug-free. Respect to CM Punk. Hands down, has held me down. Triple green is where it's at for me. Move damage is where it's at for me. And again, like I've mentioned in other videos, you can have an affiliation strap and still equip it with plates and 100% gem damage, gem defense. It's all up to you and what you have and what you can utilize. But this CM Punk held me down. Like, this was after a hiatus of not pulling. I was able to recruit him. And I never looked back afterwards. So a CM Punk on my account is just as good as a Rock on my account. This Liv Morgan, Lee from Champions Chat despises this Liv Morgan. He does not care. But for me, she rocks and rolls with it. I've gotten a lot of people now, obviously, that beef up the yellow gem damage. But she's someone that is able to make things happen and load up pretty quickly and blow up the board. And with the new yellow rumble plates and everything that are involved, or let alone the place where you can use yellow moves and beef up the gem damage, there's a lot of ways to run her. She is not the be-all, end-all zombie, but she held it down for a little bit. It's time. It's time. It's Vader time. Rest in paradise, my boy. Vader, one of my favorites. I came back to the game, got him, took him all the way up. We got the 200% strap on him. We got the Bulldog bracer. We got the rainbow reinforce on him. Share that with Arcade Assassin Asuka. Vader is my guy. I've always utilized him. I've always been grateful for him. I mean, there's other people out here now that I could put with him too, which is also a blessing. I wish we made 42 gems in the random reinforce that made it to multiply gems with a strength of 42. What? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's making Coco Beware blush. But this Vader has always held me down. The health pool is insane in the membrane. And I'm grateful to God that I got him on my squad. So Vader is another one. I know I am pressing it a lot right now with a lot of the people that I have, and I wish I could comb through everybody. DDP, just like Vader, I just came back to the game, decided to invest. I love Diamond Dallas Page, and I was blessed to get all of his gear. I got all of his gears. I like running them like this. You can run them with the triple yellow too. There's also the red and black. There's a couple ways to run your boy DDP, but DDP quick and easy for me. I am not going to take him up to hype 4. I'm holding out. I'm going to take Nia Jax up. Nia Jax is like my best female. I'm waiting to get enough hype to take her up to hype 4 alongside Jersey Wildcat Liv. But DDP deserves his due. He held me down. He still does whenever I need him, and he's an asset to any account. Do not sleep on DDP. He has an answer for everything. Following that, I spoke on Taker earlier. This woman, if you have her, you gotta have her. If you just log in on the daily calendar at the reset at 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you get her. Her gears are in the faction shop. She is a problem. She's the yellow MP reduction coach, right? I got the affiliation strap on her. She is a beast. She's a built-in problem. You got armor. Yo, I'm telling you, like they need to fix this visual glitch because that's absolutely crazy. Like, you know how cracked this would be? A 15 by 16 area with multiply gems of 15, destroying 60 multiply gems. Yeah, Scope, y'all gotta fix y'all stuff. But long story short, she's another character that's low MP. You're going to be able to spam the board. You're able to do damage. Even if you don't make a big connect or destroy a lot, you just doing one gem match is going to cause problems with her. She's accessible. She's free to play. You're able to build her up. You're going to be able to work her up over time. Just lock in, do your expeditions, help out your faction. You'll get the currency to get her gear and call it a day. But she is absolutely amazing. And like I said, she's a person, affiliation straps, they benefit you. So I've been putting affiliation straps on my MP reduction -4s, my -2s. I put them on my gem generation people, my MP +4 people. Those are the people that I've been hunting affiliation straps for, getting them out of the stipulation shop, going and getting some out of the faction shop whenever available, pulling on the Titan Armory loot, getting lucky and blessed with a chest on the weekends. That's where my straps are going. I am locking in. My heavy hitters have the 200 percenters and the 100, the one that between 100% to 200% gem damage straps or move damage straps for my heavy hitters. But if I got a really good heavy hitter that happens to be an amazing trainer or coach, I'm putting an affiliation strap on them, and then I'm just going to deck it out with 100% gem damage or move damage, depending on their style of play, and then put the plates on and call it a day. But Charlotte is one of those people that's worth investing in. Want to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. You can't hit what you can't see. Muhammad Ali, like I said, growing up, my role models, Muhammad Ali, Jackie Robinson, Michael Jordan, The Rock, and Bruce Lee. Those were my 5 people that got me through life growing up. My father did what he could. He showed me how to hunt. He showed me how to fish. He showed me how to fight. My father also showed me what not to be. So I had to find other people to fill in the place while he was gone. And Muhammad Ali, the reading and learning about the story of Muhammad Ali, growing up during the time of Michael Jordan, learning about the importance of what Jackie Robinson stood for and represented to a culture, to a world, to a sport, but more importantly, to people. Same thing with Muhammad Ali, bringing people of all cultures together. Ali Boumaier, you know what I'm saying? Bruce Lee being formless like water. And then like I already spoke on Rock, all these people played a critical role in the man that I am today. And Muhammad Ali was the guy. He still is my favorite boxer of all time. So going back and watching him train, going back and watching Ali, I love him. I will forever love Muhammad Ali. It is what it is. So to have him in the game, I wish I had the Steve Sticks for him. I do not, but I run him like this, and he still hits, and he's just a beast. He's a problem. He is a problem, and I wouldn't have it any other way. He's the greatest. He is the greatest. And I pray one day I can get the Trickster Ali. If not, I understand. One Ali is more than enough because he is the greatest and he can't help that he's this pretty. But yeah, definitely go to. We spoke on Ray. Rockin' Roman held me down for a long time with the move damage. I worked so hard to finally get his shades, but don't even use it on him. Don't even haven't even put it on anybody. But he served his point. He held me down for a while. This was how I ran him. I was so happy when I got that got the one strap. I switched out his strap, of course, but I had the one that helped him cycle because I literally did pulls for plates one time, and I was happy to get the plate that helped him cycle. So show love to him. Chelsea Green, again, pulling for these affiliation straps for people, like these bonuses. That is amazing. When you get ×4 ones, treasure them for sure. Dun 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 dun. Udzigbar, Uben Zigbar, Ilya Dragunov. Hands down, I've been patiently waiting for this guy, and I finally got him. So yeah, Ilya, big heavy hitter, shares a strap with Tech Charlotte. You know what Ilya's about. When you see him, it's on sight. Following him, this man is a perplexity. Why? Bradshaw is all over my account, and I'm not even going to lie to you. One of my favorite heels had to be John Bradshaw Layfield. Wrestling God. IOW wrestler, IOW Bradshaw JBL doesn't count. We still need a ruthless aggression wrestling God, John Bradshaw Layfield. We got mad, insane, lucky, recruited this man, got him. The thing is, I wanted Ron. I am sitting on 25 shards away from Hall of Fame striker Ron Simmons. And not only did I get Bradshaw Hall of Fame before him, I got a 200% strap for him. I was able to get another nearing end plate, my first ever ministry business plate on him. And before I even recruited him, I already had the silver gear, and we just picked up the gold gear. Like, tell me you're my favorite heel without being my favorite heel. I literally got you without even wanting you. I wanted your tag team partner first, and then somehow, when I made it my mission to get your tag team partner, you chose to show up to my front doorstep with all the bells and whistles, and now I look crazy if I don't use you. In the famous words of the late, great Kevin Samuels, you can't make this ish up, America. You can't make this ish up. But here we are. China Mamacita, Hype 4, love me some China. One of the best in the game. Did not get her Tekken plate, but we did get her gear. And waifus are laifu. So yeah, we get busy. We get busy as China, and I'm fine with her being the panda. Panda. This girl sat at the bottom of my roster for the longest time. Then Lee put a little birdie in my ear, answered the call, took her all the way up to 6-star gold. I mean, that's just what it is. Another character that you've probably been sitting on mad shards of. Got her set up already, rocking and rolling, just like this. I did play around with putting on Juggernaut, the Juggernaut gems, adding additional to it, and it does hit just as good. But she's definitely someone. She is the mommy killer. She is the counter to mommy, and Becky. With their giant health pools mean nothing to this Bianca. She's on 2 moments. I do not have her gear, but I would love to pick it up. And when I do, it's going to be problems. So look, y'all. Who else? We'll do a couple more. Kelly, Shard recruited, got her. Got my first Leech Gem strap. Got my first bombshell and headband. Automatically went on her. Do not have her gear, but will be looking forward pursuing it. Shard recruited. Indy got mad lucky and was able to Shard recruit her. Then picked up the 6-star silver fuse for her to save me some resources. And then we were able to get the wedding gear for her. So problems. Good problems. Kevin Owens literally got this dude, picked him up, got him at 6-star bronze, took him to the moon. Love Kevin Owens. So there was no argument there. Got a red trap plate on him. Again, if he hits, he hits. If he misses, he misses. Doesn't matter to me. Love KO. Cannot wait for him to come back and wrestle. Definitely deserves the WWE Championship. Even if he says he doesn't want it, he deserves it. Liv Morgan, another one. Picked her up, got her recruited, got her gear. She is nasty. May's crown, got the yellow snowfall on her. She is causing problems. Whenever I need her, she does not let me down. She cycles. I just got her with the blue, got her with Rhea, the irony there. I'm thinking that one day we're going to see Rhea and Liv back on the same page. I can see it happening. When? Who knows? But I got a feeling. It's going to happen sooner than you think. So, Liv Morgan, Revenge Tour, holding me down for the tech waifus. Oh yeah. The cream of the crop. Rising to the top. Ooh, the Macho Man, snap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah, had to. I'm just missing the doggone strap. He deserves nothing less but a 200% strap. You're either Team Hogan or Team Savage. I will forever be Team Savage. Got all the gear and just like he's supposed to be, decked out, proper. Rest in paradise, my boy. Great Khali. Yeah, we got to stop there because you know what? I could keep going on and on. You see who we got on here. We done came a long way. We got Coco Beware, Zombie Penta, regular Penta, Hall of Fame. We got Hall of Fame characters. Goldberg, don't sleep on him. Great unit. We got Hall of Fame Lex. Don't sleep on him if you got the Yokozuna moment. We got Michelle McCool when that Black Piper plate comes out. It's on site, and she has an amazing trainer ability. Julia Gulia, amazing with the Bite Man's armor, amazing with the Red Rumble. Obviously, she's going to be immaculate and sensational with the Red Piper plate. Io Sky, one of my favorites. Hands down. To pull her and to pull Mommy. Literally pulled Mommy first and then rolled into her bestie Io afterwards. That was one of the greatest pulls I ever done in my whole entire Champions career, and I got to share that moment with each and every single one of you. I could not be more grateful. But we were able to get her as well. Naya's fun. Community strap with her with the drip yeet combo. And of course, got my boy Scott Hall out here, outsiders, holding things down, standing on business. So you can see the roster has a lot of depth. A lot of good people are representing on here. There's people that I'm grateful that I use that others might not be like, that's not my style. But trust and believe, everyone has a purpose. This was one of the greatest reworks of all time. This young lady, like literally, they're offering this gear with the current event that they got going on. She is always going to be an asset to your crew. Having a strap for Snowfall being shared between all the acros is absolutely a good look for anybody, especially if you got a rainbow Snowfall, which I was thankfully able to pick up. This rock is one of my main projects. Like I said, I love the rock. I got the yellow on him. I would love to pick up a what is it? Dang, I was almost about to die on y'all. I would love to pick up a yellow rumble. I also need the beer bath moment for him. But I've been working up this rock little by little, and he is absolutely phenomenal. This is telling you how long we've been on here for a bop, but you can see it. We done came a long way. There are so many people on here that have been an asset to my squad, asset to my team. CM Punk, what's there to talk about here? I got him, finally got him with 100%er. There is a lot of depth to this roster. There's a lot of stories behind a lot of these people that I've utilized. Like, I've always been a fan of Alexa. I pray that Lee finally gets her gear because she is amazing. Hall of Fame Michelle was someone I didn't expect to be utilizing, but lo and behold, from her trainer ability to just putting in that work, she is a beast. Um, we didn't came so far and there's so much more ahead. Again, I'm grateful that I'm able to do this video and just sit down and showcase the people that I got, or should like just show you certain people that I have. So you know what, you can see that everyone has a purpose, and whether they're a go-to heavy hitter or they're great for entourage ability. There's so many wrestlers on here that have benefited me, that have helped me out, and not only just helped me, but helped me be an asset to my faction fan, helped me to be able to clear out content, helped me to be able to get my people to the next level. And it's a snowball effect. You start off with a couple of wrestlers, you build them up, then you recruit more. Then you figure out, okay, the person I was using first, they're a great trainer for the person I just pulled. And now that person's even stronger. So now I can use them to get me through content. And it's a constant snowball. And you go from having, your first 5, 6, 10 wrestlers to over 650 to 700 plus. So I mean, you got, like, it's patience. It takes time. Obviously, if you're someone who spends disposable income, you're going to have to make certain calls and decisions prior. But at the end of the day, everyone served a purpose. Everyone has a role to play. Just like that Rob Van Dam, this Scott Steiner held me down for a lot. And now that we got the Rage Plate, now that I'm sitting on multiple Bubba specs, he could be an asset once again. Big Papa Pump held me down for a little bit. This Shinsuke Nakamura was getting it done for me. King Nakamura. Where's this other guy that I saw in my head? That new face of America. This guy was the face of my account for the longest time. He was the guy that used like silence gems. The guy that I used to go up against people back in the day in a series called KO versus the World, clearing old school content when Hell Mode just came out. This was the guy that was the be all end all for me for the longest time. We did pick up Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker Division. That was my 650th superstar. Log right into the showdown for the week. Claim my rewards. Boom. Bob's your uncle. Had him recruited. So everyone, there's a timestamp in all of these. This guy was my go-to for the longest time. Move damage while I waited on DX Army. The Fiend was my go-to showboat for the longest time, holding things down. And he definitely deserves a rework. He could get a rework. Beef up the bleed damage. Beef up the strength of the protect gems. And you know what? Make that destroy the move and where the pin bar doesn't move. You're going to cause some problems and shenanigans. Give him another gear with the burnt of the Fiend outfit. The rework him. The Fiend deserves a rework. So like, and then there's even people. Edge. This Edge was my guy. This was when I was an official content creator. This was the guy that I went in. Like, I did an hour video to showcase every way, which way to use him. And to finally get his gear. I got his gear by surprise, you know what I mean? And to get it, it's the point of having him. We're never going to get the full SmackDown 6 for reasons. If you know, you know. But, that's a part of childhood. That's a part of history. It's a part of the legacy. So having him get his due. This Lita held me down for the longest time as well. Everyone's journey is different. But at the end of the day, be grateful. Be thankful for who you pull. Be thankful for who you have. Because everyone, it's just like they say. Wise man once say, the world is a stage and everyone has a role to play. So that's how you got to look at it. Everyone on your account serves a purpose, whether they are long term or whether they're for a season. At the end of the day, the moment is a moment. So some people, they're going to go all the way up. Others, you're going to have them stuck at a certain spot and be like, you know what? It is what it is. And then because of resources too, there's some things. Yeah, I got Snoop Dogg here, but I got a lot of other great actors that are already sitting at the top. I don't need to invest in Snoop right now. It would literally just be for kicks and giggles. Same thing with Aleister Black. Aleister Black right here does enough right where he is. I don't have to move him up. I could. I'm grateful that I finally got him, but it's not a big deal. This Kofi Kingston, I'm a huge fan of Kofi Kingston, but this Kofi right here, he handles enough right sitting at 210. He's put people down that are over 300, level 300. I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? It ain't the end of the world. And so you got to think that's when Merrick's what words ring bells. There are people that you can have maxed out move wise and not level wise, and they're still going to do the job for you. And there's people that you're going to have that you're going to take up. Like for instance, for me, I took up this Undertaker as well as this Undertaker because I remember when I wanted to hunt him, he was the mutant. He was the Masters of the WWE Universe, WWE Turnia crossover with He-Man. He was the one that I wanted over everybody. I didn't want Skull King Triple H. I didn't want Ultimate Warrior. You know what I mean? A Savage He-Man. I wanted this Taker. And when I was about to give up, I got a free pop and I was able to recruit him. I took him back. I still remember when Gearson did the video showcasing his glowing Phantom last ride, he throws the opponent out the ring. And when Gearson literally took a moment to put the moves set together and realize what happened, I was rolling because it was like, yo, this is the first time we ever seen a move outside of Baron Corbin, the lone wolf, right? Because those are the two that I recall where the person did something to the opponent that took him out the ring. Baron Corbin would get hit and then he would slide out the ring, come back in and clothesline you, I think. And then with Taker, he did the last ride and threw you out the ring. So there's only a handful of people that utilize a move animation like that stands out. And he's still a defensive beast today. Put 100% gem defense strap on him with all them botch gems and all the things that we got out there like botch slap and everything like that. He's a defensively themed person. Riddle here held me down for tech for the longest time. Drew McIntyre held me down for a while, for a long time. Million Dollar Man was the original farmer alongside Bobby Roode with the TNA link. If you know, you know. Some people like the Hall of Fame Lawler. Me, I was a huge fan of. Wait, I think I went past him. Or the point is, I was a huge fan of Hall of Fame Roddy Piper. First ever character in here that had 2 submissions, 2 subs. That was different. That marked the time. But a lot of people back in the day when we were getting 6 stars and stuff initially, Hall of Fame Lawler answered the call. Hall of Fame Lawler, Striker Honky Tonk Man. They held down boss battles for people. They got people to the other side, to the promised land. So even with a guy like Chris Jericho, who's said to be coming back, they've dropped hints. You know, like CM Punk's been saying, "You just made the list. I learned under the Samoan learning tree," or you'll never be a part of my inner circle. I took him up because I'm a huge fan of Chris Jericho. Maybe if he comes back, he gets a rework. Same thing with the game Triple H. He was on the portal for the votes of people to get a rework. Who's to say they don't visit him later? I'm optimistic. Better to have him up there now, then I can just fill out the stars later. But I'm also a fan of Triple H. It's just future-proofing. I have enough people, I've worked on enough people, heavy hitter and entourage-wise, that now I have the right, I've earned the right to finally take up people that I genuinely want to work on. You know what I mean? And that's a reward. You know, look at it like a job or a career. Put in the work now on the people that are going to hold you down for everything, to cover your errors, cover your classes, cover your husbando and waifu requirements. Then once you got that done, come back and take up the people that you really love, your fan favorites. And if they end up getting a rework, that makes it all the more better because then that's guaranteeing you're going to get some things in. But with that being said, y'all, that is the video. I have been long-winded enough. I'm grateful. I'm thankful for all of you. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you wish. It's all love regardless. I'm just grateful to share this moment and this opportunity with each and every single one of you. I mean, even Carmella rocked it. Like Carmella had her time in the sun for a while. It was Mella versus Mella out here because she was money. Mickey James with the move damage held it down for a bit. So again, everyone's account is a timestamp. Everyone's account is different. I remember when he came out and he pissed me off because he was the first blatant Voltron in the game. Oh well, you gotta recruit this one and that one. I think this was all the people they had. You needed Ricochet, Tech Ronda, 123 Kid, and Naomi. I think they were all the people. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But I know Tech, Ronda, and Ricochet definitely were a part of it. But they basically made it clear this was one of those MLEs, the MLCs, where they made it clear like everything is the build up Dom. That's literally what it is. Dom is horrible as is. But if you get all these people though, he'll become a problem. And Rusty stands by Dom to this day. Annoying as heck, impossible to kill. It is what it is. But with that being said, hey yo, hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last. Champions do. Mad love and respect to each and every single one of you, my beloved Champions fam. Like the video, share the video, hype the video, but most importantly of all, if you haven't done so and you really rock with what I said here in this movie, with this in-game length movie of a roster walkthrough and talk, do yourselves a favor, never a disservice, by making sure to drop a people's elbow on the subscribe button, as well as hit a razor's edge on the bell icon to receive all future notifications from yours truly, the one and only Zeke 410. Again, content might be fleeting. I'll do it when I move to do it. I'll make content when I feel the passion to do it, but I'm not going to make content just to say that I make content. If my heart's not in it, I'm not going to create it. And thank you to everyone once again for your love. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you for everything that you represent to me. I got nothing but love in my heart. I'm truly grateful and thankful for every single one of you and the experience that I got to have as a content creator. But like I said, the world is where it's at right now. It's a perfect time for me to bow out and say goodbye for right now. And I'm truly grateful and appreciative for all the 9 years, basically 9 years of content that I've gotten to make and share with every single one of y'all. So until next time, y'all, hopefully it's sooner rather than later. If not, it's nothing but love in my heart. I appreciate you all. And stay tuned. And yeah, I'm going to show y'all Gold Dust because I used to play around with figuring out other ways that you could farm people. Gold Dust was a farmer back in the day because all you had to do was place to hit the power gems over loot gems, destroy the loot gems, and that guaranteed that you got loot crates. So I just wanted to showcase that. I used to play around with after they made $1 Million Man. I was looking around. I was like, hey, who else can you use on the account so that you can be able to farm people out? And that was definitely one of them. And then, like I mentioned Enzo earlier, Big Cass is still in the game, and Enzo's still in there by name. You know what I mean? And that's from gear. So you know what I mean? Like back and look at those gear, like the different changes of gear that we have now. You got Becky's gear, Bailey's gear that was given 150% black gem damage, and then you got Big Cass here with a measly black gems do 50 more damage. The times have changed, but at the end of the day, let the good times roll, y'all. So thank you all for everything. This was an absolutely amazing video that I'm grateful that I got to share with y'all. And thank you for the acknowledgement. Thank you for your unconditional support, love through it all. And until next time, y'all, stay tuned. Good Lord willing. And remember this. I just remembered. I have to say it. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. Doesn't matter what you're going through, and it doesn't matter where you're headed, because in my eyes and from the bottom of my heart, you always and forever will be a champion. So until next time, one love from the one true king above. Stay tuned. Peace.